Hello, once again, grade 6. This is teacher Maricel, and we are still in Unit 4, Lesson 5, Reading for Pleasure. Make sure that your references like Pupil's Book and Workbook are with you. Here are objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to read and define a word through context or through pictures. Exhibit active participation in answering the questions related to the selection on page 27. And illustrate the character mentioned from the story. Let's read some of the vocabulary words from our lesson today. Here's the first one. Ivory. Ivory. Empire. Empire. Merchant. Merchant. Mast. Mast. Adventure. Adventure. And those. Those. After we read all the vocabulary words now, let us define each of them. Let's have empire. Empire is an example of a noun which means an extensive group of states or countries ruled over by a single monarch, an oligarch, or a sovereign state. Example, the Roman Empire ruled the world once. Next is merchant. It is a noun which means a person or company involved in wholesale trade, especially one dealing with foreign countries or supplying goods to a particular trade. Example is a builder's merchant trade their goods well. Mast. It is a noun which means a tall, upright post, spar, or other structure on a ship or boat. In sailing vessels, generally carrying a sail or sails. Example sentence is the sails were flapping against the mast. Another is adventure. Adventure is an example of a verb which means an exciting or unusual experience that usually involves risks. Example, I returned from my first adventure. Last word is those. Those is a noun which means a Latin-ridged ship with one or two masts used chiefly in the Arabian region. Example is the pirates on the Doe conflict. So those are our vocabulary words. I hope sometimes you use them in speaking or describing something. Our story for this week is entitled Arab Adventures. I am going to read aloud the story and I want you to read with me using your eyes. Let's begin. Arab Adventures. This map shows the Arab Empire in the 6th and 7th centuries. It reached from northern Spain across North Africa to India. This is an Arab street trader. Arab markets were full of many wonderful things because Arab merchants went all over the world. At first, they stayed away from the ocean. They thought that it was bad and they called it the ocean of darkness. Instead, they traveled by camel across the Sahara. They also traveled to Central Asia on horseback. By the 13th century, the merchants were using boats. These beautiful boats are still in use today. They have triangular sails and one or two masts. These those sailed across the Indian Ocean, and the merchants bought silks, spice, and jewels from India, Indonesia, and China. Other those sailed down the East African coast. They brought back ivory and gold. Sinbad the sailor was a favorite hero in story. Many of these adventures were based on true voyagers. By the time he had finished his travels, he had seen all of these things: a giant whale, a seahorse, a huge snake, a rock, a city of monkeys, and a sea monster. Let us have some comprehension check if you really understand and follow the story with me. Question number one: what would you see in an Arab market? Good job. They have full of many wonderful things. Question number two: why did Arabs have many great things? Answer in a complete sentence. Excellent. Arabs do have many great things because merchants went all over the world. Question number three: why did they stay away from the ocean? Bravo! They stayed away from the ocean because they thought that the Sea of Darkness was bad and giving them omen. Question number four: who was the favorite hero from the story? Wow, you really followed the story. The favorite hero from the story was Sinbad. And last question number five: what were the creatures seen by Sinbad when he had finished his travel? The creatures saw by Sinbad were giant whale, seahorse, huge snake, city of monkeys, and sea creature. You did well in this story reading. So what time is it? It's workbook time. Let's have some study skills. For number one, you have self-correction. You have to read and correct. Look at these words or their mistakes. You are underlined and WO appears on the left. Can you correct the mistakes? I know you do. You have 2 minutes to do this. time's up. Let's have the answer. For number one, we have I never have seen an animal like that before. So that is the answer. Number two, Meg always brushes her teeth before bed. Number three, there were some big red apples on the tree. Four, the children ran in and out of the sea. Five, it's such a big cake I can't eat it. And six, Lucy sings sweetly. The next part is you need to find the spelling and word order mistakes. Did you underline them and corrected them? Okay, here's the answer. Number one, the boys run noisily down and up the stairs. Number two, Kay never goes riding on Saturday. Three, I stopped to buy some lovely pink roses. Four, Sue is having a such good time in France. Five, have you ever seen knives like these? And six, the boys played happily in the sitting room. In the second part, you see there that mostly you just arrange the word in their proper order and some were just with their steps. Number two is words which have the same meaning. In the box, there are pairs of words which have the same or almost the same meaning. Write them below. Use a dictionary if necessary. Let us read the words first. Enormous, slim, green, happy, small, noisy, hurry, jump, huge, thin, lip, laugh, tiny, smile, loud, fast, rush, cheerful, giggle, and quick. Let's answer each of these number. What is the partner or the pair word for enormous? That is huge. What about slim? Correct. That is thin. Green? Not the color green. Good job. That is smile. Another word is happy. What is the pair word for happy? Cheerful. What about small? That is tiny. Noisy? Great. That is loud. Hurry is for rush. Jump, lip. Laugh is giggle. And last word, fast. That is quick. Excellent, grade 6. Now you have another word for small, for hurry, for slim, for happy, so that you do not keep on using the same word. I hope to hear these words from you. Okay, for number 3, for any words new to you, write sentences with them here. As you can see, at the left side of this slide, you can see some of the words. What I want you to do is to write a sentence for each of them. I'll show you my sentences and then try to make your own. The first one is, the baby's giggle sound like a music to ear. So I use the word giggle. Another example is green. He seems to do something naughty when he grins. Next is enormous. The elephant has an enormous ear. We remember that enormous means big. And last example that I can show you for thin is, her diet gives her a thin figure. Now, I want you to use these words in your own sentences. And that's all for today, grade 6. Thank you and goodbye. Remember, always be safe, be healthy, and smile. Bye bye.